Spartacus served in the Roman army for a little bit until he deserted from it, but then he was captured and sold as a slave, but we don't know how much he was sold for, so I'll just make up an amount. Spartacus then served some time as a gladiator, and not gonna lie, he was really good at it. In 73 BCE, Spartacus and a bunch of other gladiators broke out of their training school and took refuge on Mount Vesuvius. His original plan was to just simply escape, but he couldn't use that because it had already been discovered by the Roman authorities. As Spartacus sat on Mount Vesuvius, he thought and knew what he had to do. He had to fight for their freedom, and so because of this, he had a plan. See, this is the big empire of the Roman Empire, and one tiny man would definitely not stand a chance. So if you had tens of thousands of tiny men, then they will be annihilated. And so, Spartacus started to put together an army. And in this army, he had two lieutenants in charge, Crixus and Oenomas. Spartacus' army continued to grow as it had some escaped slaves, gladiators, and more as the numbers of the army continued to rise. As the Roman authorities saw this, they saw this as a main threat and knew that it had to be eliminated. The first army of 3,000 men was sent to eliminate the force, but they were immediately defeated. In 72 BCE, Spartacus' army numbered to about 70,000 men. The Roman authorities continued to send more armies to defeat the coalition of Spartacus and his forces, but Spartacus continued to defeat army after army. In the end, Spartacus and his forces gained the entirety of southern Italy. At this point, the Senate decided to send an army where two consuls were in charge of it. After the Senate sent that army, it was immediately defeated as well. And so the responsibility of the war was then given to a praetor or judge named Marcus Licinius Crassus. Crassus decided to split his army into two, and then at the Strait of Messina, he started to chase down Spartacus and his forces. Spartacus then planned to cross over into Sicily, where he planned to increase his forces with escaped slaves for his cause, but the pirates that were to transport his army proved to be untrustworthy. And so Spartacus was now cornered in the region of Bruttium, with the sea to his south and Crassus' army to the north. So Spartacus decided to fight Crassus' army to the north. In an attempt to win the war, Crassus made an incredible fortification system that stretched across the neck of the Italian peninsula, and this cut off Spartacus from his supplies. Because of this method, Crassus won the war. It was his masterpiece. Even though that Spartacus lost the war, the people that remained on his side weren't spared. Across the Appian Way, around 6,000 slaves that were captured from Spartacus' side were crucified along the Appian Way. The Roman Empire had spared nobody, and we can definitely see from this, they were purely corrupt people. Spartacus was an energetic leader, and hey, he's even seen as a modern-day superhero that led a successful revolt against the Roman Empire. He even has his own movie and TV show. And now I want to put a quote from the guy himself, but Spartacus never said anything very inspirational, so I'll take a quote from the TV show. A man must accept his fate or be destroyed by it. Spartacus. Maybe when he was about to face Crassus. I don't know, I never saw the show.